Hey, all right. This training is about how every art collection or new service or product, any offering that you're creating as an artist is like its own child. It's your baby. But just like children, they need to have their own birthday party. You need to invite the community to celebrate them, to recognize them, and really give them a moment in the spotlight to be special and also give your community a moment in the busy life to focus on them, make a decisive decision to buy and celebrate that offering with you. So this training is about how you can run a launch just like you throw a birthday party for a loved one, for your kid in this metaphor, or for a family or friend, or throw your own damn birthday party to celebrate properly this thing that you created. Okay? So, why is this important? Well, I think that a lot of artists don't understand the concept of launching outside of announcing something. I mean, a lot of artists I work with don't even really announce things at all, but then they come to me and they say, I have never sold a piece of art to someone other than my friend or, my sister. And I say, all right, well, let's talk about your marketing strategy, your launch strategy, and your sales and, um, kind of packaging of your offers. And that's where I realized there's just a lot of opportunity to learn what's applicable towards us as visual artists and how we can use that to actually create the container of decision to help make sure people know we have an offering and also help focus their attention so they can decisively buy that offering. And so, throwing a birthday party for each individual art collection or new service or any new offering you have, it's really, really important to make sure that your community knows that it was born, knows how much it is and when they can buy it and when they have to make a decision, etc. It also helps to make sure it doesn't go unnoticed and unrecognized and uncelebrated because you're laboring and bringing this beautiful thing into the world. So why shouldn't we just throw a party for it? All right, so this training will help to debunk some of the myths and misconceptions around launching, and it will also help you put a simple strategy into place for hosting your own launch party, which I want you to do this month. Yeah, get excited. It's party time. Okay, so quite simply, some of the myths that I hear around launching are like, oh, do I have to do it exactly the way, insert famous artists of the day here, does it? They see a new artist publish a book and it seems like they're all over all the media with all coordinated effort, or, it looks like they're showing up every single day on some platform that you're not already on, or, you know, no, you don't have to do it the way that you see other artists doing it, because any part of your art practice or your marketing absolutely has to fit who you are and what makes you tick and what you're willing to do, right? So, just like in real life, think about the type of party you like to host. You know, are you like a four people for a beautifully prepared dinner type of host? Are you like once a year we just go all out at the farm and there's like 300 people and a mariachi band? That's a wing of our family that I adore. Are you, you like to sit on the porch with like 10 people? What's your style of hosting right now? How do you throw a party? Specifically, think of a birthday party. Think of the last time you threw a birthday party. How did you organize it? Okay. Think to that. So, first, just think your hosting style in general and what stresses you out, and then also what you're really gifted at. That's going to be translate to your launch quite a bit. Okay. And then think about the last birthday party that you hosted and how that goes. Do you partner with someone on it? Did you do it? Can you just handle it all yourself? Do you, like me, definitely require a nap before having a bunch of people over, but then absolutely enjoy it? I don't know. But I want you to reflect a little bit just on your experience right now of hosting parties in general, and especially the last birthday party you planned. And then I'm going to break it down for you in terms of how and heck this relates to your art. Okay, so in this training, I'm going to walk you through the basic sections of a launch process. These are planning, sending invitations, receiving RSVPs, the hype woman pre launch imperative part, then the start of the event, hosting the party, the end of the event, gifts and sending out the goods, thank you notes, and then rest and reflect. Notice these are 10 steps when a lot of people, I think, when you're new to launching, kind of think of just one. It's like, today, ta da! That's just step 5, the start of the event. So I'm going to break it down and how this applies to your art. You ready? Okay, planning. So, for example, let's say that I am launching a series. I'm going to plan, like in Visual Artist Accelerator, you're making a cohesive series of work. And so, let's say you have 3 to 5 finished pieces and you're ready to debut. You're ready to say, hello, world. Here they are. And you really want them to be bought or seen or partner with the right company or agent. So, this is your chance to plan their birthday party. Okay. All right, so pre-planning. First, I want you to understand that this 10-step launch process takes into account that there is work to be done ahead of time and work to be done after the official party, the official launch. So, watch this whole training while you work out the dates of this. But for example, you could just plan this as 10 days in a row with one step each day to practice your first launch. So if today is the day 1, then just plan out each day from now until the end of the steps. And make sure, though, that the actual start of the event, hosting the party, and end of the event fall on days where you're willing to be in communication. Don't have them fall on like your actual birthday or like unless you want to be on your phone or the internet all day, if that's where you're like corresponding with people. But I do not like hosting a sale on my own birthday because on my birthday, I want to go like eat a nice meal with my family and play outside and make art. I don't really want to be like on the internet, you know? So I've learned that after doing it a couple of times, it actually is not that fun to have a sale on my actual birthday because I don't really want to be like hosting a launch when there's already a thing, right? So think about it as like an actual party that you're hosting. I love to have a launch start on a Tuesday and end on a Thursday with or like start on a Tuesday and end the next Tuesday. Have plenty of time in between to host the party and also have like real kind of work days where I'm available to make a big deal out of the start of it and make a big deal about the end of it. Okay? So for the simplest of purposes of your first launch, just do one of these steps each day, boom, 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 days 1 through 10, but try to make it so that steps 5 through 7, the start of the event, hosting the actual party, and the end of event are on days that you're actually available. So you could just flex it to your calendar accordingly. Okay, so planning, that was planning out the days for you to do the work involved in each step. And now, because I tend to work with a lot of artists who are really brilliant, you can really think big. You tend to be perfectionistic and stop yourself because you can see so far ahead. I want you to do the quick and dirty version of this launch to get a launch under your belt. Throw a party for this series as it is. Let it be good enough. Declare it done. If you've already done your portfolio review, you know how to like bring it home, baby. Get it done because it's really important to do the full exercise, much more important than like nailing it or doing a perfect launch. Because as you'll see, you'll be able to throw these kind of birthday party launches for your offerings again and again as your career unfolds. Okay, so planning, put out the dates that you're available and also plan what you need to do. You know, depending if you already have some of these steps in place or not. So the next step is going to be sending invitations. This is where I actually want you to brainstorm people in your life, or maybe if you already have an art audience established, that you could invite to this launch. Literally, like reach out to them personally and invite them. Send them an individual message on Instagram or an individual email. Send a letter to your email list if you have one. Send real mail or handwritten notes to your neighbors, whatever it takes, but practice inviting actual people. Please, as a miniature step, as a miniature version of this step, I want you to invite 3 people minimum and commit to a date and time that it starts and it ends for your launch. Okay. All right. The next step is to receive RSVPs back. So hopefully those people will tell you yes. Or if you're doing more of a broadcast style, saying, hey, I'm working on a series, I'm going to be launching it on this day and time, posting it on your Instagram or sending it out in an email newsletter, invite people to respond. Say, please comment with your RSVP. I want to see you there. Or please reply back and tell me that you'll be there, or tell me something you're looking forward to seeing, or whatever. Just get commitment from people because it gets your own skin in the game, it gets them, and it builds the energy. All right, the next step is the all important hype woman, the pre launch. This is where you're teasing things. Maybe this is where you go buck wild and you watch the visuals for visual artists module and you take some photos with your art. You take some photos of your art kind of styled as a product. You start to tease little bits of it, etc. That's really important. And I think it gets overlooked a lot is giving yourself a day, if not a week or 2 weeks. Just don't go crazy on this first launch. It's more important that you complete the full process than you do like to the max of each part. Okay. So again, picking dates, inviting at least 3 people, making sure you get confirmation back, inviting people to confirm, and then hype women and give yourself at least a day, if not more, to tease it, to photograph it, to style it, to get people excited to be like, this is going to be such a good event, such a good party. Happy birthday to my art that I made, right? That's the hype, okay? And then you have the start of the event. See how we're already 5 steps in where most artists start and they say, hey, I made a thing, it's for sale, here it is. That's when you actually launch. The start of your launch is on a certain day and time, just like a birthday party. That's when you're going to get a bunch of attention. People are like, I got to be there on Tuesday at 2. That's when it goes live. I implore you to keep it simple. Again, doing a full launch is much more important than having a perfect shop with a perfect listing. There is a reason I don't teach that. It's because you don't really need that to run your first bunch of launches. What's much more important is that you have a relationship with and a sense of community and celebration with your audience, and you train them to buy and you train them to know that you're an artist who makes this type of work, who offers it for sale by having these awesome parties launches. Decision containers are all they are. And it's more important. So what I recommend is whatever format you're using to correspond with people. It could be as simple as literally inviting them over to your front porch, and you have your art pieces there. It could be because I work with a lot of artists who really are in-person type of people, even though I have a completely online business at this point. So if that's you, literally plan it at your house or studio, have cake, have your art for sale, have it started at a certain time, right? Okay, if it's online and you're Instagramming, great. That's the time you're going to post the pictures of your work for sale. Maybe hop on live at that time too and show and tell, talk about them, get excited. Your enthusiasm leads this whole party. Your vibe hosts, right? When the host is having a good time, it's so much easier for everyone else to have a good time. So this is the place to share your love, your eagerness. Know that everyone who's there opted in, they RSVP'd, they know you're selling your art. So don't hold back on that. Be like really proud of your prices and of your work and what you've accomplished and celebrate it. Okay, so that's the start of the event at a certain date and time at a certain location, whether it's at a physical location or online. Then hosting the party, you want it to be open for a period of time. What I see a lot of artists just say, hey, this thing's for sale. Here it is. Ta-da. And then like woo, everybody's life gets busy and our decision is gone because we don't realize we're at a party for a limited time. So, what I implore you to do is really think about it like a container for your attention and have your launch open only for a specific period of time and make it very clear that the offer goes away. The party ends, okay? So, say you launch on a Tuesday, you actually host the party on a Wednesday. So, you post a bunch more pictures of it, you share in the excitement, you share some of the like things people are saying or whatever. Or if you have a real event, there's actually like some mingling and just be with people during the event and then say, all right, this launch is ending at this time. At that time, this art won't be for sale, or I'll no longer offer free shipping, or I'm, taking it offline for the rest of the month, or this certain price goes away, or this bonus I'm including goes away. Something changes and is done at that time. And here's why it is leadership. It is helpful to give people closure and a decision container. So when this party starts on the time and day and specific location you announce your launch, and then you host it, you also want to give people a time and location and specific day that it closes. So that experience wraps. And I want you to be just as excited and gracious and celebratory on the closing announcement as you are on the opening, right? No matter what has happened, celebrate your sales. Celebrate the fact that nobody bought it. Celebrate the fact that somebody commented. Celebrate the fact that you're shipping them all out, whatever it is. Celebrate the fact that you're disappointed that only 3 of them sold and 2 of them didn't. Whatever it is, right? That's like doing the dishes with like your friends at the end and giving them a hug and saying thank you for coming. That's it. So that's why I also have a step at the end, the gifts and shipping out the goods. So I highly recommend that, especially your first few launches, you think about the fact that no matter what happens, there are party favors. There are party favors for the people who gave you the gift of their love and attention because of the exercise and the growth that happens from fully committing and having a launch for your art. Those people are so important. I want you to honor them. And I don't want you to feel like you have to give things away always and always. Um, think about it as part of like the assignment, and part of what you're paying me to do is help train you to do this as a regular part of your practice. So think about gifts in terms of like, you know, party favors, or you come on this live with me and one person gets this drawing or this a sticker, or a handwritten note or whatever it is. So there is like something that no matter what, you're sending it out. If that's your intention to ship out your art, you're going to be committing to something, and hopefully they'll also buy your art and you'll be shipping heaps of that out too. You know what I mean? Get yourself in the mindset that people are coming and there's an exchange and a celebration. And I think that with that sense of like you're really hosting an experience, it shifts it from being like, oh, am I bothering people by talking about it? It's like, no, you're hosting something awesome. And your art is the gift, right? And it's also about practicing, really giving them an experience with the art and with you to build that relationship and have it be properly celebrated. And so consider having party favors. And then finally, thank you notes. So you closed your launch. Now, I want you, before you take the day off, I want you to look back at everybody who engaged, from the planning to the invitations to the RSVPs, even during your Hype Woman day or week, to the start of the event, during the party, at the closing of the party, and then in your experience of party favors or gifts or shipping out the goods. Where were the key people, the relationships there? Because those, my dear, are gold. Those are your family. Those are your art family. That's the audience that all this other stuff, all those like huge following numbers or whatever we think is important, isn't. It's truly those people that were involved that are helping support you at this level as an artist. And building and nurturing on those is what's going to give you everything, the foundation for all your dreams and opportunities. Okay. So thank you notes to those people. This could be as simple as, a voice memo on Instagram DMs or a quick little, email thank you, or, if you're a letter writer, write them a letter. But sending out and acknowledging those people for helping shepherd you through this launch, as well as just generally thank them for coming and participating. That's going to go miles. If you already have an email list, which I implore you to do, I have a separate video about, like, yes, go start one. Send out that thank you email. You can even write that ahead of time so that if you're after the event and you're like, whoa, you're ready to go with some of those thank yous, send that one out. And then finally, step 10, really, really important, is rest. Plan that you will need some recuperation time, just like after hosting a birthday party. You typically want like a pretty chill day the next day, right? So rest and reflect, give yourself that decompression time, schedule that day off, go to nature, process and reflect on what went well, what you do differently next time. And there, my dear, you have a properly celebrated, properly launched birthday party for your offering. Every time you host a birthday party for your art offering, you'll get better at it. You'll have even bigger of an audience. And every time you do it, you're training them to recognize that you are an artist who makes this type of art and it is for sale and they can buy it at this certain place and time. They've got to make a commitment. And that builds and builds and builds. So please think about this. Do your first one right here while you have me supporting you. Just do it in 10 days, quick and dirty, and celebrate this art, debut it, let the world have it. And then know that you can be throwing a birthday party for your various offerings many times each year, and you'll get better and better at hosting the specific type of party that you and your audience enjoy the most. All right. Thanks so much. This has been a bit longer one, but I'd love to hear how this applies to your art and the stages of your planning process. Above and beyond, I implore you to get to it, pick a launch start, pick a launch end, and, start to build the hype because it's really important that you celebrate what you've created. Bye for now.